Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Sabbath Show. Today we've got the Game Week 1 match recap, review, whatever you want to say. Everton lost 1-0 to Chelsea. We're back in business. We're doing these every game. So make sure to stay tuned and join us on this topsy-turvy ride that we've got going this season. Obviously, Everton can guarantee you exactly that. Let's just begin overall with the summary and basically just say that we probably played to our ceiling today. I didn't expect too much. We obviously knew what was going to happen coming in. We have no strikers. We know the squad we've got to deal with, the players that are out. So we were probably hoping for a draw at best, well and truly knowing that we probably weren't going to score today, aside from some shithousery if that happened. But this was the result, and it is disappointing because I did think we put our best foot forward, but in saying that, a lot of good to take out of this performance. The goal we conceded, not too much to say, pretty much a letdown on Doucoure's behalf because, I mean, we had it covered. Yerry Mina was there, ready to go for the block, and Doucoure decided to bring him down. Some people will argue the point and say that it was either stonewall or, you know, it was bullshit. And, well, I don't really have anything to say about it. I think it was a fair call. But regardless, we should not be putting ourselves in positions to do that. And it really soured the tone to what was a really good defensive performance today. Prayers up to Ben Godfrey. Very horrific injury. Fractured leg by the looks. And he will not be seeing any action for quite a few months, I would imagine. Some people are saying, oh, it's on the linesman because he didn't call out a play. And I have to say to that, well, Godfrey's pass was god-awful to lead up to that. He wouldn't be in that situation if he just could nail the pass. So, there you go. I don't really know what else you can take out of that, apart from the fact that, obviously, we hope that he has a speedy recovery. Backline was excellent today. Really thought they stood up extremely well. Last season, you could not say anything about that backline being good. And yeah, they had 16 corners today, Chelsea, and we defended every single one of them quite well. Mind you, the quality on some of those was pretty poor, but in saying that, Mason Holgate, I think, got to at least half of those, and he obviously came on, you know, well into the game. So that was really good by him. Great performance by him. Didn't really give the Chelsea attackers any opportunity to get the head on the football and you know, have that opportunity to score goals. But yeah, stood up extremely well. In saying that, a couple slipped through the cracks, but obviously that is to be expected given the volume. As I said, 16 corners and a few set pieces on top. So yeah, to build upon this, we talk about players like Tarkowski, Mikalenko. There was that goal line, last line defense, sliding tackle deflection thing. Sterling looked like he, you know, was going to score that one right in the back of the net, and Mikalenko came out of nowhere and blocked that shit, and it could have gone in, but in saying that, he saved their ass on that possession, and yeah, even though we didn't, you know, get rewarded, we're in that game just a little bit longer with that block, and that's what we really want to see. We want to see that ferocity, that desire to win games, and that pretty much epitomizes it. Jordan Pickford had a bit of a shaky start. Obviously, we saw the offside goal with Raheem Sterling, and that was courtesy of a Jordan Pickford fumble when he was trying to save the ball. But apart from that, he really shook it off, and yeah, eventually got going. It's going to take him a bit of time. Obviously, you know, you're getting readjusted to some Premier League opposition, and sometimes the moment can get to you, but to his credit, he fought back pretty well. And now we're going to give our player of the game. It is Alex Iwobi. He was excellent. He was excellent, and he was the anchor in our midfield today. Basically, in our whole team, he was getting back defensively. He was creating opportunities offensively. You know, moving the ball into wide areas and switching the play. That was really good because, you know, you've got to add a little bit of unpredictability. And, you know, if you can keep switching the play, you know, it's going to force the backline to move. And, you know, it could catch them off guard. You know, they could fault somewhere, and yeah, you find a little gap, a little window of opportunity. We didn't see that today, but there were a few chances because of Alex Iwobi, you know, facilitating. But as we mentioned earlier, and as we mention for the coming weeks, the talk's going to be about getting a striker because we currently lack so much polish in the box. Same story, different season. Doucoure had an opportunity in the box and it looked like he stubbed his toe. Barely got any connection on it. Mind you, it wasn't a bad shot, it was on target, but Mendy didn't really have to move. We got Demarai Gray. I think in the first half he had an opportunity to, send Gordon through on goal and he couldn't get the pass through. Mind you, I think it was Thiago Silva that placed himself really well, but in saying that, bro, you got to find a way to get that ball through, and unfortunately, it's always the final pass that lets us down. Same with Anthony Gordon. He had to establish himself as the number 9 in this game, or the false number 9, and it's clear he's not ready yet for that. It's very clear how old he is, judging by how he plays. Still very raw. You can't really judge him too much. I think the expectations are now extremely high as opposed to last year when they were extremely low. So, it's an experience for him. He's got a lot of work to do, a lot of improvement to be done with regards to craftiness on the ball. He sometimes just runs himself into trouble. And, when I saw those centre-backs for Chelsea, I was just like, Gordon's just going to dive or get extremely out-muscled and also dive. So, it didn't really work out that well today, but it's something that we can do in the future as, a way to possibly, create some versatility with his game. The fullbacks were great. Nathan Patterson, in his first game, believe it or not, in the Premier League, with regards to a starting 11 spot, he was great. And he looked right at home. He was always looking to advance the play forward. There was one where he just sprinted through full pelt at the ball and, hit it full stride. And, it didn't really result in anything, but it was a really positive play. He was good defensively. He really stopped quite a few attacks by the Chelsea wingers, so that was a positive sign to see. We did see some vulnerability in his game last year, but he didn't really seem to show too many signs of that. As for Mykolenko, we know what he can do. Offensively, he was trying to work something out, but he never really got to that either. But defensively, he was locking players down. And as I said before, that defensive effort on the last line to get that ball clear that looked like a certain goal, credit to him. He's been a very, very solid contributor whilst he's been in the Everton shirt. We also look pretty sharp on the ball. That was pretty good to see because last year we were lacking it at times. When we had the ball, we didn't give it away easily. We're always looking to be a little bit nifty, find our way through defenders, use a little bit of creativity on the ball. Definitely trying to slip through opponents at every opportunity. And there was some good dribble moves by, I think it was Dwight McNeil. Didn't really show too much today, but I think that was one thing that he was really good at. He found his way through some difficult situations in traffic. Which hopefully will be subjected to more across the year. If we're talking about the players that were the biggest handful for us, to deal with, it would probably have to be Raheem Sterling. It was very, very troubling to handle and control. I think we did an overly good job, but there were a couple times where he found a way to get through, possibly get a shot off. Obviously in the second half, and then that offside goal, he snuck behind. He was trying to be a little bit cheap, a little bit of a poacher, but he didn't really come up good on the score sheet. And he also was a serial diver today. Evertonians do get criticised for constantly bagging out other oppositions, given we have a few divers of our own. In saying that, you know what I'm saying. I don't really care, to be honest. I'm just going to call it out for what it is. There were a couple calls where, Raheem Sterling dropped dead and nothing was done by us. We did not create that situation. And, Chelsea benefited from it. And ultimately, I think one of those situations actually led to the Chelsea goal down the line. But obviously, you can say, if this didn't happen, this wouldn't have happened. It's very easy to say. You can say that all game, every game with specific players. But you know what? I think you're just asking for an argument there. And look, we should have just been that little bit better on that play which resulted in a goal. So, very unfortunate, but it is what it is. Well, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this one. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe. We're back every week. We've got Villa next week. It's going to be interesting to see how we go. They lost to Bournemouth somehow. We've got a couple nice little plays in there that we've got to be watchful of. We have had some new signings. We could see a few more on the way for the game coming up that could be featuring in the matchday squad. Connor Cody is one of those. Obviously, missing Yerry Mina as well. Who knows how long he'll be on the side for, because he's made of glass and you can't really rush him back. So I think Cody would be a very, very ideal and smart signing. Onana, he's also possibly going to be playing. Get excited for him. 6'5", 20-year-old. Get excited. Idrissa Ganagay, he's joining as well. Apparently, don't know when, but it's going to be good fun. And a striker. That's what we need. And it could be Broja, it could be Dennis. Those are probably the two most glaring names. But we'll see what it ultimately results in. Overall, I think we could be seeing a much better matchday squad in the upcoming week for the next game. But that'll be it. So thank you. Have a great rest of your day. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out.